God is good to Israel, to those whose heart are pure. But as for me, I almost lost my footing. My feet were slipping, and I was almost gone. For I envied the proud when I saw them despite their wickedness. They seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong. They do not have troubles like other people. They're not plagued with problems like everyone else. They wear proud like a jewel necklace and clothe themselves with cruelty. These fat cats have everything their hearts could ever wish for. They scoff and speak only evil. In their pride, they seek to crush others. They boast against the very heavens, and their words strut throughout the earth. And so the people are dismayed and confused, drinking in all their words. What does God know? They ask. Does the Most High even know what's happening? Look at these wicked people, enjoying a life of ease while their riches multiply. Do I keep my heart pure for nothing? Did I keep myself innocent for no reason? I get nothing but trouble all day long. Every morning brings me pain. If I had really spoken this way to others, I would have been a traitor to your people. So I tried to understand why the wicked prosper. But what a difficult task it is. Then I went into your sanctuary, O God, and I finally understood the destiny of the wicked. Truly, you put them on a slippery path and send them sliding over the cliff to destruction. In an instant, they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. When you arise, O Lord, you will laugh at those silly ideas as a person laughs at dreams in the morning. Then I realized that my heart was bitter, and I was all torn up inside. I was so foolish and ignorant. I must have seemed like a senseless animal to you. Yet I belong to you. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel. Lead me to a glorious destiny. Whom have I in heaven but you? I desire you more than anything on earth. My health may fail, my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever. Those who desert him will perish, for you destroy those who abandon you. But as for me, how good it is to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my shelter, and I will tell everyone about the wonderful things you do. The Gospel readings from Matthew 11:25-30. At that time, Jesus prayed this prayer, Our Father, Lord of heaven and earth, thank you for hiding these things from those who think themselves wise and clever, and for revealing them to the childlike. Yes, Father, it's pleased you to do it this way. My Father has entrusted everything to me. No one truly knows the Son except the Father, and no one truly knows the Father except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Then Jesus said, Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. This is the word of the Lord for the people of God.
This is a true story that I find quite amusing, maybe because it's so true to life for what happens to many of us. Years ago in Vienna, Austria, a bank robber was foiled in his attempt to rob the Landesbank Hypotheken Bank in Vienna when he was directed to a different counter. The clerk he approached told him that she did not deal with those types of questions. There was a big line for the next cashier, so the man, who was holding a silver box that he claimed was a bomb, fled before repeating his request. Clerk Maria Bertel said, He came up to me wearing his scarf wrapped high around his face and said he wanted money. I said I didn't deal with money here and told him to go to the next counter. It was only afterward I realized he was trying to rob the bank. We called the police, but by the time they came, he had run off. So when you have a hard time dealing with bureaucracy, dealing with the system, getting somebody to help you in places, know that you're not alone. Bank robbers have those problems too. That's kind of nice because when we think of criminals, too often we think they always get away with it and that they lead happy, wealthy, prosperous lives. Let's not envy the wicked who seem to prosper. First off, we have a different view of life than they do. We have different goals. One way to look at it is we're playing a different sport than the wicked. What if in his first press conference after winning the Wimbledon Gentlemen's Singles Final, Rafael Nadal had said, "I'm really jealous of Jordan Spieth. I think it's really unfair that Jordan Spieth can play golf so much better than I can. There's no justice in that." Now, he's never said anything like that, but if he did, people would have concluded, number one, he's joking, or number two, he's a total idiot. Rafael, you don't practice golf hours every day. You practice tennis. You don't even play golf professionally. You play tennis. You're one of the best in the world at it, among the best of all time. And you can't expect to be a great pro golfer when your sport is tennis. Likewise, we can think about those who want to be millionaire criminals, who want to be successful that way. If you want to be a millionaire criminal, then you're kind of wasting your time coming to worship. The hymns and scriptures don't give advice on how to become a millionaire criminal. If you want to do that, then maybe the best way to do it is to become someone's apprentice if you don't get killed first. So we can think of our lives as believers knowing that it makes no sense for us to be jealous of the people who put financial prosperity and lust for power before values like morality, because we're not even trying that. As Christians, we don't put selfish financial prosperity and power before values. We have a different life. We can think of it as saying we're playing a different sport. And when we think of it this way, we know that our lives as believers have different goals, different ways of living. This life can have its hardships, but it leads to a happy ending in heaven with God. At the beginning of the psalm we look at this morning, Psalm 73, the grass looked greener on the other side of the fence with the wicked. The psalmist then realized that the presence of God meant more than any wealth the wicked could accumulate. And this psalm is a very personal, honest statement of a person struggling with his religious beliefs. It contains deep thoughts. It contains deep feelings. It also has a moral. It contains a moral. Let's not envy the wicked who seem to prosper. Years ago, the magazine Psychology Today had an article that was the lead article on its cover entitled Secrets of Happiness, and included an interview with Dr. Joyce Brothers. One of the main questions addressed in the article was why some people who were wealthy weren't happy. Another, why was some people who were happy who weren't wealthy. Now, here now a quote from this article. Remember, this is not from a religious magazine. This is from a secular magazine. Remember also, these words were not written by a clergy person, but by Stephen Rice, Ph.D., a professor of psychology and psychiatry at Ohio State. And I quote, One of the deepest ways to satisfy our desires is through spirituality. We can satisfy the desire for honor by embracing the religious denomination of our parents. A psychologically important attribute of religion is the emphasis given to the desire for unity, or to open one's heart to God. At least for some, faith is a path toward greater value-based happiness. Value-based happiness is the great equalizer in life. You can find value-based happiness if you're rich or poor, smart or mentally challenged, athletic or clumsy, popular or socially awkward. Wealthy people are not necessarily happy, and poor people are not necessarily unhappy. Values, not pleasure, are what bring true happiness, and everybody has the potential to live in accordance with their values. Let's hear that last sentence again. Values, not pleasure, are what bring true happiness, and everybody has the potential to live in accordance with their values. From this article, then, we can conclude that persons who throw away their values to get financial prosperity are throwing away that which can bring them true happiness to gain something that there's no guarantee can bring them happiness at all. So we shouldn't be jealous of those people. We should feel sorry for them. The answer to the questions of how and why to remain faithful when the wicked prosper lies in having the right attitude. And we heard the psalmist struggle in this morning's Old Testament reading. In the first 14 verses, the psalmist is jealous of the bad guys who seem to be doing very well. In verses 15 through 17, the attitude shifts. In the rest of the psalm, the psalmist thinks long term and realizes the wicked don't prosper in the end, the righteous do. When we consider this reality, our attitude shifts. As our minds remember that the righteous prosper in the end, our hearts experience hope, and we try to continue to be faithful to God and God's ways. In this morning's gospel reading, Jesus calls those who are weary and burdened to come to him. Jesus' yoke fits well. It's not a yoke that's meant to bring burdens. It's a yoke that relieves them. But we have to be yoked to, connected with, and directed by Jesus. When we're troubled, we can come to Jesus. We've all had times like the psalmist when we're discouraged and see no point in trying to be good morally. But if you're here today, that probably means that you've come back to Jesus. As Christians, we see the wicked seem to prosper today, and we look at our problems and struggles, but we remain faithful, for we know God holds tomorrow. Let's not then be jealous of the bad folks who seem to make out so well. They may be doing well today, but we know they won't be doing well in the ultimate tomorrow unless they change their ways. Let us instead follow the guidance of our God, our strength and shield, who leads us and feeds us. Let's turn together then to our closing hymn. We'll sing together, then the benediction. Then, as you heard, for just a few minutes, I can be back there to greet people afterward. But please rise if you're comfortable standing, and let's sing together number 467.